Good morning, friends. Namaskar. It's really a joy to be here. I was here yesterday as well, and to see so many wonderful Guru Bhais, friends, truth seekers on the path. We're a spiritual family. And I think we need to remember that we're here to help each other, to serve each other, and everyone has a different role, but we're here because of our Guru and our masters and Swamiji, and that's what brings the joy. So I welcome you. If I haven't met you, I'm happy to meet you today, and welcome to the Ananda Sangha, the Ananda family. Today's topic is on the inner kingdom. And this is such a beautiful topic because I recall when I was coming out of college, I went to a good college, and I ended up with a very nice paying job and, something in my career in psychology. And, I had what people aspire to have, but, I had a nice place and a car, and I always had wonderful friends, and I thought I was happy, but I realized I wasn't really. Like in the movie, Finding Happiness, I'm happy, aren't I? The star of the movie says, one playing that part. And I realized that I was living my life superficially, and most people do, isn't it? It's all on the surface. It all looks nice. It's a facade. We play the part. We look the part. We have everything that everybody else has and all. But I remember at a certain point, I asked myself, there must be more to life. There's got to be more than this. And I think all of us have felt that, or we wouldn't be here. We're seeking. The soul is reaching out. There's something deep inside of us that's longing for truth. It's longing for wisdom. It's longing for knowledge. It's longing to know. It's longing for love. It's longing for peace. There's something longing. And as long as we stay out on the surface, we realize that we haven't really gotten what we've come here, this earth, to receive. So by the grace of God and good karma, I began to meditate. And I learned transcendental meditation at the beginning. And also I started doing, I see many yoga teachers here. That's great. I started doing the yoga postures, and I felt like, wow, this is really wonderful. That was when I first started doing that. And then I learned energization, and it wasn't like I loved those exercises in the beginning, but I did them, and then I learned to love them, and I thought, wow, this has a lot to it, and I have more energy. And then I started to meditate, and wow, I remembered meditation from other lifetimes, I think. And I remember someone said, enjoy it while it lasts. And I said, what do you mean? I was enjoying that. Then I began to chant, and then I came onto the path in earnest, and I began to study, and I began to read the scriptures, and, I began to live my life in an uplifted way in higher consciousness, and I was going into the kingdom of God inside. And that was what was missing all along. The yogi goes back every day and dwells within. And Master said, you cut the sense telephone wires. You reverse the direction of the energy to go back inside. And as you do that, what that statement of Jesus Christ really means, seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things will be added. I remember I thought, well, what does that mean? I don't want to leave everything and, just go off into a cave or something. But I realized what it meant. Go inside first. Have an inner life. Understand who you are within. Meditate first. Every morning, pray first. Do your asanas, your meditation, your your sadhana, do it first. Read the scriptures first. Attune yourself first. This is why we bless people here at the spiritual life or discipleship. Today when you come, you'll feel a blessing here. For Korea, we bless people here to remember this is our home. This is where we're from. This is what we need to always do first. Then you take that vibration, you take that centeredness, you take that inspiration. I love to live in the ideas that are always there. Solutions, insights, inspiration, uplifted consciousness. Your soul knows everything, but we don't lift up the antenna. So we just see problems, problems, problems. Well, the yogi finds solutions. You lift yourself up into the higher realms. Seek ye first. Go inside first. And then you go into your life. And so that's what happened. There was Rajarsi Janakananda. He was a multi-millionaire. In those days, that was really something. He was a yogi. But what did he do? Rush off, do all his work, I'm making phone calls. No. See, he sought God first. He went inside. He went to his office, and he put a sign up that said, "In conference." You love it? In conference. Nobody was there but him and them. No, he was in conference for 5 hours in the morning. Every morning he would be in conference with God. It's so beautiful. We've forgotten this in conference. And then he would go into his work, and people would say, "How can you afford to take out that much time?" He said, "I can't afford not to." And he would see all the problems right there and solve them immediately. There was a beautiful story of George Washington Carver, who you may know, a wonderful scientist who worked with the flowers, and anything to have to do with the peanut, he discovered it. Anything you use, peanut butter, anything. But he would pray. Then he would go into the garden. You see how beautiful that is? He'd go into the garden, he'd talk to the flowers, because he was uplifted. And he said, anything you love will talk to you. He just put that vibration out, and he discovered so many usages for the flowers, the plants, the peanut, 300 things to do with the peanut, because he just listened. He was uplifted. And I remember I heard a story of one disciple she went into a master, Yoganandaji, she went into a very uplifted state. And she went to tell her guru, "Master, this is what happened." And he could see she was very much in ecstasy. And he said, "Now, I want you to go to the department store and get some things for me." And she goes, "Now?" And he says, "Now." Do you understand? Now. Go with that vibration, with that upliftment, with that peace, with that joy in your heart, with the clarity and focus, and go. And every day when we meditate, then things work out. Isn't it not so? When you don't feel good, do you? Do you feel good? No. Misenergization, miss your postures, you miss your chanting or your study, you miss your meditation, you miss your Kriya, oh my God. You miss everything, you walk out the door, good luck. And so what happens? Things don't work out. Seek ye first. Go inside first. And what does that mean? We have these outer pulls. The senses, no? They're pulling us. I want to see, I want to touch, I want to taste, I want to, you can just see it with the little children on a hot day like this. You say, we're going to go get an ice cream. Ice cream, yay! They're just completely on the outside, on the surface of the body. Ice cream, ice cream. Then you say, oh, it's closed. Oh, no. It's up, down, oh, no. And this is how the adults are. No, they want this, but all day, every day. It's not the way to live. And so, what we do in meditation is we magnetize the inner kingdom of God. So beautiful. We magnetize the chakras, the nadis, the spiritual eye. We attune to the light. We attune to Om. Master said, if you're an Om, nothing can touch you. We feel that vibration and power of Kundalini rising up in the spine. When we do our sadhana, we magnetize the inner kingdom, and then our energy 100-fold we have. We lift that up, and then we can go into our world. And Master talked about the chakras like doors and the whole inner kingdom. Like the door can swing out, or you can swing it back in. You know, you swing out and you just go out there and you're there for who knows how long. Or the yogi knows how to swing that energy back in. No? Or you can think of magnets, like the senses of powerful magnets. They're pulling at you. I want to shop. I want to eat. I want to see this movie. I want to do all these things. Master talked about the movies, because he would have his eyes closed at the movies. And people say, are you watching the movie? And he, yes. It was wonderful. I'm watching the big movie. And everybody else is looking at the screen, all the things going on, and he would just point, look at the beam. It's all coming out of the light. This whole show is coming out of the light, but if you never see the light, all you see is the nightmare. How can you be happy with that? And so we magnetize the inner magnets. We take the magnetism away from the senses as we meditate, as we do yoga, as we energize, as we chant, as we do kirtan, as we do fire ceremony, all these things. We're just getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, it says to turn it talks about the chakras like lotus flowers with the petals turning down. We turn them up. We turn them up. Right attitude, seva, all the practices, they're turned up, meaning the energy's flowing strongly up. This is what we do in yoga. We change the direction of the energy, and we go into the kingdom of God. Now we're living here in Delhi. We're not in a cave. We're not in the Himalayas. We have to deal with stressful situations, with the heat. We have to deal with the traffic, with the noise, all these things. We can't go away, but we have such powerful tools to be able to be strong. Yogananda ji said, just stand unshaken amidst the crash of breaking worlds. And once we go inside, then we start feeling the divine bliss. I wanted to share a beautiful story with you of last weekend or weekend before. We had a Kriya in Gurgaon. One young man, 13 years old, he took Kriya. 13. The child of 2 Kriya Bans, long-time Kriya Bans. So I talked to him before. I interviewed him. I know him from when he was 4. There's a picture of him with Swamiji blessing him, 4 years old. He's just standing. He's been in this family for all those years. So I talked with him, and I said, now, before the Kriya, a few weeks or days, I said, now, why did you come to the Sangha? I mean, he could be out playing and whatever. He says, I was asking my mom, what do you all do there? And he said, I want to see. So he came into level 1. You had to love it. And I said, now, what happened when you came to level 1? He says, they were meditating. I learned how to meditate, and I liked it. I said, great. So then you took the 8, 9, 10 months of classes. He had perfect attendance. He came every week. And he said, yeah, I came. And I said, well, what kept you coming? And why do you want to take Kriya now? He said, I like it. Now, isn't that such a sincere answer? It wasn't like my mommy told me, my daddy told me. It was like, I like it. You like going inside. We all love it. And that's why we're on the path. And when things are going badly, whatever, just turn the direction back inside. The last part of that story is the next day, the very balanced child. The next day he had a cricket match. That was Sunday, Kriya, and Monday had cricket. And his mother said he had that cricket match, but did he miss his Kriyas? No. The match was at 6:30 in the morning. He got up at 4:30 to do his meditation. Then he went out and played cricket. I just love that, Isn't that beautiful? That it doesn't mean I can't do anything, I can't see anybody, I have to go in a cave, I have to just do it first. And do it with, how are we alone? We have to do it with Guru Kripa. The grace of God is how these experiences come to us. Master put his ear to Dr. Lewis's ear so he could hear the Om. Dr. Lewis says, how does it sound? Master says, put your ear right here. And he just could hear through Guruji's body the booming sound of Om. And how are we on our own going to open up our chakras by ourselves? Go through the spiritual eye alone by myself. I'm going to do it all myself. I'm going to lift my own kundalini up, And we were saying yesterday, you come into this wonderful temple. And yesterday we also had a wonderful meditation in here. And, you leave, and same with in Gurgaon, all the centers, you leave thinking, I really meditated well. But come on. The temple's meditating for you practically. In here, there's so many wonderful vibrations. And the Guru's grace is there, blessing everybody. And so remember that 25% is our effort. 25% Guruji's help, and 50% is the grace of God. And so these experiences, the experience of going within comes from our effort, but it comes also from the grace of 75% is a lot, grace of God and Guru. Remember, Swamiji told a story of when he would sit with Yoganandaji in meditation. Master would be talking about anything, filling in the potholes in the road or whatever. And Swamiji said he could feel his energy rising up and just here at the point between the eyebrows, just from sitting in darshan, sitting in the presence. We have to, and we meditate, whatever we do, just call on that presence. And finally, recall when Swami Kriyanandaji, he found Autobiography of a Yogi. You've all seen the movie, The Answer, right? He goes to that bookstore, New York City, and he sees the book there, he pulls it out, he's attracted. And then he reads, dedicated to an American saint. He says, there's no American saint. He puts the book down, and he leaves. And then he couldn't move. Let's not forget that story. And he was turned around by a force. And he knew he had to go back and buy that book. Who's doing it all? We do our part, but that power is what changes us. That power is what draws us within. That power is what turns our life around. And as we focus in that way, we will find these are very powerful practices. They certainly take you into the kingdom of God. I want to read to close the talk from Raja Yoga. Some beautiful words of Swamiji on the inner kingdom. Close your eyes and just feel these words. God comes to the soul in different ways, as light, sound, love, peace, intense calmness, power, wisdom, or divine joy. One who sees lights may have visions of saints or angels, or of the astral world. One who hears sounds may hear astral music, or the sounds of the spinal centers. One who feels love may find tears flowing inadvertently in meditation. One who feels peace will feel as though he were drinking it in pure life-giving draughts. One who feels calmness, the positive aspect of peace, may feel his consciousness expanding as if into a vast hall. One who feels divine power will be made intensely aware that God alone is the doer, that man's own power is simply non-existent. One who experiences wisdom may develop deep insight into any question he asks of God, or he may know himself inwardly as the undying self. And one who experiences divine joy will never want for anything more. Om Shanti Shanti.